What's up? This is Top Tier Tarot by T. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for this message that is divinely subscribed for you. I've called on all the ancestors and guides that are here for your greater good, and this message is supposed to be a remedy that is for those who are watching, and this remedy is very clear to give you understanding on what is causing you confusion, that the battles that nobody sees you have going on that you need to heal from pertaining to relationships or your divine purpose and path. I did not know that was the message and what it was for until I pulled out the cards that definitely said that. So let's go into the meaning of these cards and why, so that we can get a perfect remedy for you, because we're coming into the new year and I feel like it's very important for you to know what's important for you to know. Alright, so the Seven of Swords talks about internal conflicts and maybe even battles and things that you're overcoming, right? Within conversation or interactions with others, maybe even disappointment, you know, and leaving those things behind. All right, fully, surely. With the Four of Swords, we're leaving those things behind that we meditate on, that we focus on, that we think about in secret, that are in the back of our mind, that are great reflections of how we move, think, and prosper or not in a day-to-day. With this Temperance card and the Two of Cups, it's the same thing twice, as well as the Moon card, and the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords. The only thing that's stopping your progress is you. Why? Because if you look at the theme, other than these cards being for rainbow, you know, it is the Rainbow Tarot. There are many phases and faces that are reflections of you and people that were here during your experience or your journey in life. And they may also not even be of this realm. So some of you guys may be telepathic, especially with the Moon card. Intuitive, clairaudient in some way, shape, or form. You might actually have divine intervention on a regular basis. Of course, I called on the ancestors and guides and people whose ancestors and guides needs them to hear a specific type of message. And I feel, as far as I'm concerned, since I've called on that and I've asked the Most High to touch my tongue, everything that I'm saying is channeled, and this is not really pre-calculated. So for you, and I just saw 242 on this 244. 242. For you, this is not a message that is coming from another human. This is a message that is coming straight from source energy and whatever you receive messages from. I feel like you are learning to wean out the chaos and get direct information from what is directly for you, instead of being confused on your ancestors or guides or who is intentionally there for you, what you believe in. It's becoming so clear to you now and apparent, and your path is no longer a lesson. It's no longer a lesson, meaning when you go off path, you have to learn the lessons of going off path. Your path is no longer a lesson. Your path is yours, and you are taking it full-fledged with patience and balance. And I'm circled in on this cauldron, so some of you guys may be practitioners and or alchemists. These are words that are coming to me that I'm not, you know, because those can be broken down into other, you know, practices or, you know, definitions and descriptions of oneself. 525 was just on the screen, and I just saw 526. Now, with the Two of Cups, it is important. It's chocolate on my finger. With the Two of Cups, I see this direct line that is of light in between, and you are, I feel like I need to tell you, you're coming in between people's realities and completely brightening their reality. You're completely enlightening others' lives with your experience. And there's many factors to your existence. You are a fraction of light, a factor of life. This is different because I'm thinking about fractions. You see, the Temperance card usually represents balance. She's usually in another deck, Rider-Waite deck, balancing water and pouring water from one cup to another, and then you have the Two of Cups literally right there. So it's really, really speaking on balancing one's existence, pouring back into one's life by actually catering to one's life, which is another verification of staying on path. It's like I feel like I'm taking 5 minutes to explain the same thing. I just saw 535 on the screen. And it's almost as if, you know, it's time for you to just realize that that's where you are. And because that's where you are, there's nothing that can go wrong. And there's a lot of things that have gone wrong, but you were always in the right because you needed to go wrong to get right. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. You are definitely in need to meditate on the lessons that you learned and take what you learned from those lessons to use it in your practice. Okay, so example for me, right? So I'm empathic, whatever, knowing my gift, 626. This is really, I'm being called to talk about this. And I've been seeing 626 a lot, and I recently was watching Lilo and Stitch with my son. So you are definitely a project by design to infiltrate the masses with your unique existence, to be tested by those that are among you that understand that you are not to be understood. Not even for you to understand yourself at the moment until you come across the fact that nobody else is going to be able to understand you and you accept it. Woo, that was a lot to say. I'm going to have to run that back and listen to it for myself because I probably need to hear it. But you were a person that experienced the opposition a lot. By the opposition, I mean you were in direct contact with what the spiritual being was inside of people versus experiencing the mass that they gave people, that they even gave themselves. They didn't understand that aspect of themselves until they came around you, where you triggered their soul, when you triggered their identity, when they couldn't no longer. It made me think about this meme when people used to post it a lot. I used to be like, wow, that's crazy. This is before, you know, the year of the 9, where things are getting exposed. But it's a meme where there's a demon and they're in the tub and they're shedding their, they said, after a long day of pretending to be something else. You know what I mean? And you met this person off rip and kind of saw it. But because you felt like this person had the potential to be like you saw something in them that if you lived inside of their body, they would be. But potential is something that we make up in our mind for other people. When we exercise our reality in someone else. So while we're taking on our path and realizing who we are, we can no longer do those things. And that's something that you realize. So it allows you to pour into you and also be able to see the illusions clearer as day. You have to meditate on the fact that you know. And you were made to know. Even when you denied it by going off your path and ignoring what you know and giving these people teens amount of chances and time and access so that you can learn in depthly what you now know, right? All right. We went in. All right, so with the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Pentacles, like I said, and so now you are being called to study a new path of success and fulfillment, learning and collaborating and taking a leadership role within these collaborations where you could possibly be teaching people the things that you have learned now. So you are no longer just learning to accept your experiences and reflect on those things and how you came up with solutions for those problems within yourself, whether that was like gang stalking or dealing with double gangers, vampirism. I mean, something about blood sacrifices, you know, people doing underlying spiritual work knowingly and unknowingly. And the definitions for it could be a lot more deeper than the actual experience, because some people don't even realize that the things that they're doing is ritualistic. It requires some consistency. It requires a level of practice, and it requires not having guilt or doubt about it. It requires them having an intention and believing what they're doing as they're doing it, even if they know it's only to benefit them and take away from you. It's like a really deep thing that you have. You're learning to you've learned to master and understand and accept. So now you also are accepting a forced position of self-defense and mastering having to collaborate with these ancestors and guides or the Most High or deep into your faith, or the things that you've accumulated over time and learned. For example, Reiki pops up, learning how, or for me it was like more like hypnosis, learning if someone has your mind, they have your body and your purpose and your destiny. They can completely swap identities with you or convince you that you're not who you are. Like hypnosis for me snapped me out of that, because neurologically your brain learns from emotion more than being taught. Even repetition is not as powerful as an emotional attachment. This is why when marketing, it's about emotional triggers, right? So with hypnosis, that is why you call on the existence, or you create this program that is about triggering a new emotion in oneself, so that your body will follow your mind and remembering that emotion in itself, versus your brain remembering the trauma connected to experiences. Either way it goes. So the same thing with Reiki. You know, same thing with training yourself to think and be different. I feel like you're also going to be helping other people in that aspect, which is very unique, because I was recently thinking to, I see 1222 on the clock, to provide, the number 4 is significant, to provide hypnosis as one of my new services in my description box. And you know what, just checking, it might just be there, but it might not. I'm thinking about it. If you like that idea, then put it in the comments. But you know, it's time for you to step into this place with humility, comfort in yourself, belief in yourself, and not just moving on from the past, but being joyful with the past experiences and thankful for them. Because if they didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to prosper as an abundant soul in itself. You know, having multiple layers is good, like is as good as cake, okay? But it's not as easy as pie, especially not that new pie that I just, you know, there's like the Great Depression pie, right? People are really, really depressed because they only want to put a few ingredients together and live off of that. And though it might look good and it come out tasting like it was probably more in depth than what it really was, the reality of it is, it don't compare to the value, the experience, the time, the energy, and the lessons that come into creating a nice, good, layered cake with icing that you can share and with everybody. Okay? Anyway, I don't know, that's just some random thought. But like I was saying, and that brings me back to the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is a woman that nurtures, leads with the Queen of Pentacles. So we have Cancer, Pisces, for some reason Aries popping up in my head, Taurus, Capricorn. I want to say Virgo, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Virgo is coming to me as somebody that already experienced this and could choose to use their power for mass manipulation. I feel like this is you stepping into your power for self-defense purposes only, and to create another level of consistency. This is not and self-mastery, not the mastery of knowing how to. Some people use this information like when men, not to be, because I know there's probably some men watching, like when men use their gifts and their power to attract the opposite sex, and like Nature Boy as an example, versus using it to actually grow and know that the opposite sex is going to be there regardless, and the women are not the reward. They're just, it becomes like an asset type of thing. I don't know how to explain it. An aesthetic property, something like that, versus it just being an opportunity to become closer and further in your journey. This person is from your past life, your path life, your life path partner, whatever the case may be. But it's not that. And I do see a new person coming in with the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. This person is coming in very slowly as you master yourself. This person is coming in as well, watching, I feel like, as well. With the Eight of Cups, they're watching you find personal fulfillment. They also, I immediately got mentally challenged. They may see you as a challenge for them, as if it's hard for them to be in your presence, as if you're out of their league, circumference. I don't know how to look at that, but it just looks like with this Hermit card and the Eight of Cups, they don't want to disrupt you. And they could be an air sign. Or they could be really, very airy, where they go back and forth in their mind about their own decisions, and you seem very concrete about who you are and where you want to be. This person could be admiring you in secret. Because look, the reality of it is you guys are both on the same path differently. You are not really looking to see who's attacking you anymore. You're just ready for attacks. This person is not even a target. They're targeting themselves. They are in battle with themselves, and they have an interest in you. And that also creates a new conflict within them. Not knowing that for real, you guys could unlock each other's superpowers on a whole nother level, or perspectives on a whole nother level. There is a balance. There is a downer and an upper in this connection, and that depends on if you have time or the energy for it. And they really feel like they could be a waste of time and energy. Though they may have financial gain, they could benefit you financially, and they really will be just focused on you and being better for you, which sounds good all at the end of the day. But it does give that partner that needs constant validation of if they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Okay? And whoever has been trying to attack you, whoever was trying to attack you or thought about attacking you or attempting to think about some type of energetic pull on you, it's these circles of rainbows and these rays of light, especially with the High Priestess coming, showing from the heart center, is just giving your self-mastery is your biggest tool. It's not about it's your practices, it's your alchemy that's your biggest tool, that that brings them karma. Your consistency with working on yourself, keeping your health in a line, keeping your energy together, keeping your mind focused and not on a swivel, staying on path, taking out all those negative thoughts that don't belong there. For some people, doing your Reiki, your hypnosis, your meditation, journaling, praying, running, jogging, working out, just staying focused. It allows a lot of the things that would usually stick to you and distract you to shed. I'm just getting like a snake's shed. Even if you were your own snake in your own life, you right? You feel me? Like, I just feel like you've accepted that you are the serpent. For some people, you could be on the path of serpents. You're shedding skin. You're shedding a lot of skin. Alright, it's just giving many layers and action. Okay, but I don't feel like I can stop. Y'all know usually my videos is about 10 minutes long. I just seen 20:02 on the clock, so I'm just doing a little bit more. And all the angel numbers that I'm naming, look into those. Right. This divine intervention is coming in very, very quickly. While this other person, for some people, there's one person that's really taking a lot of time to come in to your life. But there's another person that is coming in very fast. Also, I do see if you ooh, excuse me. Also, I do see if you were manifesting some type of justice or some type of judgment or karma or something to be going in your favor, you know, it's a higher, something that the Most High told you to do, or your ancestors and guides told you to do. That manifestation is coming in very, very quickly for you. You ain't the only person, because that was like over the full moon, before the new year. I could be talking to, because with the higher family, we're talking about deep divine intervention. Deep divine intervention. Deep divine intervention. Yeah, I'm talking to some leaders. You are being called to teach. The Emperor and the Empress coming in right here. You're being taught to teach and maybe even collaborate with two aspects of yourself and a leadership role, both of your masculine and feminine energy. The Emperor is a high priest in itself. And the thing about the Emperor and the High Priestess, the difference between the two is the High Priestess is more, she looks more mysterious. The Emperor is just, it's almost like a hidden agenda that I'm picking up on. So there could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces that has like a hidden agenda of coming into your life in a good way, that could be manifesting you quickly. Like it's a lot of people attracted to you at this point in time. You have a lot of attraction coming your way. I do feel like the Most High, if the roads were blocked and you weren't being seen or recognized for a while, you were being hidden, that's over. Give me more about the Empress card, because Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, new beginning where, yeah, it's a receiving era for you. Seven of Wands. All your hard work is paying off. Yeah, somebody here is meant to be in the limelight. So you're supposed to be getting recognized. 6 of Wands. Whatever you've been manifesting is going to succeed. 9 of Pentacles, you're getting a lot of wish fulfillment. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what anybody is saying or doing or thinking. Even the people that are trying to manifest you can't control you. There's a lot of divine intervention in your life. With the Sun card, I can't make this up. The 6 of Wands with the Sun card split in the deck. There's just this. There's nothing to worry about. As long as you stay on path and you serious and you realize the lessons that you learned on path, what you have, you learned everything that you needed to learn. And it's almost, you're not just being called to teach, you're being called to keep living the lessons, but not live them in pain. Okay, not live them in poverty. Not quick ball them, but you know, it's time for you to make that layered cake. 7-layer cake is what came to my head. It's time for you to ascend in that and enjoy every slice. Ain't nothing wrong with pie. Ain't nothing wrong with having your slice of pie. And that also makes me think about the comparison of getting a piece of the pie. There's nothing wrong with having a piece of the pie, but you are here to create. And you're here to create cake. You out here passing out opportunities for people that is more, it's going to last longer, it's a lot more savory, and has more depth to it. Okay? And you got lessons to teach as well. Yeah, the world card with the Knight of Cups. Okay, the Knight of Cups to me says, enjoy life. With the King of Cups, wow. The Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. Enjoy life. Enjoy life with the World card. The World card is nothing but success and positivity and new doors and avenues and roadways and directions. All of this is connected to your path. It doesn't matter what you do or how you do it. It's all going to work out in your favor as long as you stay on your path. Which, you know, you've already learned the lessons to keep you focused on your path. There's nothing else you can do. For real, for real. There's nothing else you can do. There's nothing else you can do. There's nothing else you can do. The only thing you need to focus on is making sure you pour into yourself. With the King of Cups, make sure that you stay calm and collected like you always, like you are. You had, like, even at rapid or still waters, you're so emotionally mature and aware because you've been through it before. Something like it, you can help people through any level of it. You're a teacher. You're not a student no more. Okay? Now you're learning in your own life that you are capable of teaching. Some of you are still seeing the results of what you've manifested come to pass. And this dream, this vision, this manifestation is verified through this reading that it's happening, it's on the way. You are just required to live in that blessing already. That's a hard thing because sometimes that's what the Seven of Swords is. Because sometimes if you don't do the work with the Three of Wands, if you don't do the work and have patience with yourself, it'll seem like what you are going towards or what you have, the vision that was placed inside you, seems so far away. And you create this internal conflict and everything. So you're just being asked to make sure you stay in your alignment. You've already learned the lesson of going outside of that and being hasty. I feel like I keep repeating the same messages over and over again. So I'm just going to end the message right here. Going outside of that and being hasty. Knight of Swords, quick movement, not thinking about the outcomes of what happens when you make those quick movements. That's unnecessary. Take your time. Believe in yourself. Cliche. You know. Everything is going to be okay. Everything has always been okay. Even in the moment when it felt like it was not. You learned exactly what you needed to make sure you got back on your path. And nobody's going to be able to knock you off because you already know what that looks like, feels like, is like. And somehow you still get right. But this time, you practicing. You're well versed in your practice. You're alchemized, and you're here to help other people do that same thing. Also, for somebody here, the example I'm getting is being vegan. Like some people, you could be very, very allergic to processed food. You can't even eat vegan processed food. So you got to do the raw fruit and everything, and so it's almost like that journey, figuring out what is about to kill you, to get to a point where you enjoy not suffering just to be able to say, oh, I eat the same thing, or I go to the same restaurant Or they're having it, why can't I? It's just a level of self-mastery. Like, I don't have to do it because y'all do it. I have to do it because it's best for me. And everybody has their own opinion. Like, I just can't eat that. I just can't do that. I don't understand how, and blah, 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 blah. But it's either that or you suffer.